Confidence among small businesses here in the U.S. rose in September. According to a report by the National Federation of Independent Business, optimism climbed to 88.9, marking the first gain in 7 months. William Dunkelberg is chief economist at the Nfib and is known as the authority on small business, and he joins me now from Philadelphia. Mr. Dunkelberg, welcome back to Bottom Line. Always a pleasure.
Mark, thank you very much. Love being here.
Sir, thank you. Even though your survey found that confidence among U.S. companies increased from a 13-month low, those companies, they're still reluctant to add workers or increase investment. Why?
Absolutely. No, we did improve, but we're still at recession levels. And the main reason, obviously, is expectations. We have 38% of the owners saying they expect business conditions to be worse 6 months from now than they are today. Only 5 or 6% say they think they'll be better. We have more firms who think their sales are headed down over the next 3 months than up. So that's not good. So if that's your view of the world, then obviously you're not going to place any bets in hiring or buying new equipment or doing all those wonderful things. So that's the issue. No confidence in where we're going to go.
Mr. Dunkelberg, let me ask you something, because I asked this question of a guest yesterday. The numbers, the metrics suggest that we are not in a recession. But psychologically, are we still there?
Well, certainly a lot of the consumers would think we are. If you look at, the Michigan Index of Consumer Sentiment, it's at the lowest level since 1980. That's recession. That's a recession reading. So you got 131 million people out there working. They've got an income, but they're afraid of what they see coming, so they're not going to spend. And that would, of course, if they would provide us the best stimulus we could possibly have. But they're not confident.
A lot of big companies can turn to fast-growing markets overseas to make up for declining sales here in the U.S., but small businesses, they don't have that luxury. How can they compete?
Well, that's the issue. And, of course, very few of the small businesses are exporters, although lots of them are in the supply chain for the big exporters, so that does help them out a little bit. And the manufacturing firms in our surveys are doing a lot better than everybody else. But, but it's tough out there because we just don't have customers. 28% say that that weak sales is their top business problem. So we need the consumer to come back. Once we have customers, we have a reason to hire, and we'll go hire people.
Well, how do you restore consumer confidence then? How do you get consumers to start spending again?
Well, I think Washington has to come to grips with the problems that we all know we face. We just had a nice piece on Europe and its problem. A lot of people out there think that if we don't get our act together, we'll soon look like Greece compared to the rest of the world, and nobody will lend us money, and then we'll have the same kind of problems they have. That's a scary situation, and so you're going to be cautious with your spending commitments until you see a better way going forward, and that's what Washington has to give us.
Well, for small business owners, is the #1 problem weak sales, or is it high taxes and what some see as burdensome regulation?
Well, weak sales certainly gets a lot of votes, 28%, but we get about 36% who cite taxes and useless regulations and red tape. That eats up a lot of their time, and so those are still concerns, and they need to be fixed.
Mr. Dunkelberg, we have about a minute left. Bloomberg and the Washington Post, as you know, co-sponsoring that Republican presidential debate tonight on the campus of Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. The focus is going to be on jobs and the economy. What do the nation's small business owners need to hear from the candidates tonight?
We need to hear that they're going to come to grips with our big problem, which is, USA Inc. We need a management team that lays out a good path going forward. We need to get good forward-looking statements from our leadership here, just as we're going to need them when we get the profit stuff. We need guidance that says, yes, life will be better, and then, of course, we'll head out. So they have to tell us how they're going to solve the spending deficit debt problem, and then I think people will feel more comfortable and you'll get the spending.
William Dunkelberg, chief economist at the Nfib, joining us from Philadelphia. Sir, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for your time today.
Hey, thank you, Mark.